I also had nice butt pants. Yeah. It's alright, it's just the break screen. Oh. What up, gang? I also... Look. A little bit. Don't worry about it. Transition. Where the bluest skies, they float. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Butt Pants stream, where I'm going to be sure to open this stream with me talking about my butt pants. They're really nice, and maybe, if you're lucky, if you're really lucky, we're five followers away on my Twitter. So if we get to 300 by the end of tonight, I will post a picture of butt pants for everybody, for everybody's viewing pleasure. So go out there and follow that guy, that guy being me. Hi JD, thank you for coming by. So
hey JD.
we're gonna start off with a little recap of all the good stuff that happened last time. All that good stuff, of course, being a dream sequence that Cori had, Caelum jumping out of a window, to which we had our halfling barbarian jumping out of that window after him, Blake wandering through the street, fairly inebriated, and kind of forgetting a lot of what happened the night prior. Most of what happened the night prior, but what can you do? So we are going to be starting off where we left off, which is once more at the top of the hill in Shroudport, where our dear friends fought against Caelum's mentor, Farron. Caelum was unable to land 3 strikes against Farron, but in a Bloodsport style combat between Farron and Gwen, Gwen was actually able to get Farron down to a knee, which was quite amazing, to say the least. And then after Gwen was able to get Farron down to the knee, you guys had all seen this large spiritual figure kind of emerging out of Gwen as she fought, kind of mirroring those same attacks until the end of the fight, where that spiritual figure left. But Prescott, using Prescott's wonderful projector of minor illusion, was able to create a little still of the battle, as it were. So we have finished with Prescott, Farron, and Mugwort all returning back to Shroudport, saying that they were going to be hanging out at Fang's at least until they could get their boat sorted, and either leave, and you guys were free to either say hello tonight or at some point during the day before they left the following morning. And you guys didn't really ask a whole lot of questions about what the name of the ship was or who the ship captain was, but that's fine. And so Gwen actually began wandering off into the hillside, just kind of teetering back and forth, having not slept for a solid 2 days, as you had stayed up all last night to ensure that Caelum once more did not run away and make things sad for everybody. But that is where we're going to pick up. So Gwen, you are currently just kind of like shakily walking down this hillside.
Okay.
And are you like aiming more towards Shroudport? Are you aiming towards the forest, off to where you know the forest would be, off to the far left, or far right from where you are? Sorry. Or are you kind of like just going away from the city, just kind of leaving, going north?
Just heading out into the field a little bit more so I can be isolated. And then I'm going to sit down and I am going to start meditating and playing my flute, playing some Goliath songs that I know were used in a meditation setting, and see if I can't figure out what the fuck was going on. Plus I need some sort of sleep. I might just fall asleep, but I did roll a nat 20 on my constitution. It's
true. And that was to make it through the evening, but I would like for you to make another constitution roll, as you have just gotten done with a battle. You've just calmed down after your rage has taken you.
Well, that's a 13.
All right, so with your 13, you guys see Gwen kind of like shamble forward. And where you mentally are like, this is the spot, and you sit down and you feel really good about it, you guys see her almost like tip over, catch herself on the ground, and then just sort of sit down, pull out a set of, you have a flute or is it windpipes?
A flute.
Okay, so she just pulls out this flute and begins playing just these very quicker tempoed songs, and the songs necessarily aren't. Make a performance check as you go to play your flute.
Above average. 11.
Okay. So it's been a while since you pulled out the flute to play in this style. You had pulled it out previously when you were talking with Sten Fazeno. But other than that, you really have not had much practice with your flute as of late. So you aren't necessarily able to hit every beat as it's going, but you're trying to at least maintain a steady tune, and it seems to be working out all right for you.
Okay. I'm just kind of thinking about the mother of the spirits, who was the the spiritual guide of the group. Chua was her name. She was the tribe's sky watcher. So she's just kind of remembering her lessons and trying to... Gwen was never really good at meditating because she can't sit still, but she thinks it might be important to do that now.
Okay. So you guys, the rest of you just see Gwen just wander off and then eventually sit down and just start playing this flute. What are the rest of you doing?
Is she within eyesight?
Yeah, she's still within eyesight. She wandered maybe 80 feet, 100 feet away from where you guys are. No, the grass isn't super tall. It's pretty low.
Is it a side flute or is it like a front flute?
Side flute.
Side flute.
Sorry, side flute. Taking a drink.
She was muted for a second there.
Do we get the sense that this is something that like she would want to be alone doing?
You're not really sure. Gwen's a very outspoken individual, very loud and rambunctious. This is the first time that you've ever seen them really wander off to be by themselves to do much of anything, unless it involved a preferable partner.
Right. Cori taps Gwen on the shoulder.
I stop. I look up. Like, I am trying to focus. Do you mind?
Oh, yes. That's what I was going to ask.
I mean, I've literally never interrupted your meditation, so like...
Sorry. Okay, I just make sure that you're alone. We're going to head into town. So, you can meet us back at Fenn's place.
You're gonna leave me out here by myself?
I mean, or, we could just stay out here and watch, if you like.
You guys can do what you want. I'm just gonna I need to be one with the plains.
I see.
So yeah.
I'll wait for Gwen. Caelum says, as he's sitting down and pulling out a book.
Okay. Well, I've got some errands to run. So, are you going to be out here long, or?
Well, as long as it takes.
Okay.
I don't know.
If I don't find you back at the anchor, then I'll just come on it out here. See how it's coming.
Cool.
Hey.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Blake, did you want to come with me?
Sure, yeah.
I've just got some shopping to do. I don't know if you have anything to do in town.
Actually, I do have one thing that I would like to do. And that's get this hood tailored in some way.
Excellent. All right.
So we'll go off.
Yep. All right. So Caelum, you are currently staying up top with Gwen, Cori, and Blake. You guys are having in a way, the OG party, as it was the two of you that came into Shroudport together. And so just being able to pass through the gates and kind of walk through these streets, just the two of you, is this almost nostalgic kind of feeling, given the events of the last week and kind of how outlandish they seem to have been and the trouble that they've gotten you in. But it's very nice. You can kind of understand why people go to this city if they aren't necessarily looking, if they aren't really looking for anything. And also looking for something in general. Like, it is both a busy town, but also a lazy port town. As you can see that at the top where you guys are, there's not a whole lot of commerce, but as you look farther and farther down the walls of Shroudport, and this just basic hillside, you can see that it does get more industrious the closer you get to the docks at the bottom of the hill.
Very cool. All right, I'm gonna look for a music store. Any store that I can find selling instruments.
So make a investigation check.
Alrighty then. I'm almost certain that that's going to end fantastically.
Would I know what you're looking for in order to assist you?
Almost certainly.
Cool. So if I can, I would
Yes.
like to assist.
I will allow it.
That gives advantage, yes?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, 18.
All right. Yeah, so you end up going through, and it takes you maybe 45 minutes, but you end up finding a pretty good music shop at the in the top section. You don't have to go down very far into the actual city of Shroudport itself to find something that you were looking for. And you end up finding, it's called Perfectly Tuned. And you see that there is what looks to be a nice violin that has these wood music notes kind of coming off from it. And the doors themselves all just have this very nice embossing of music notes, just sort of carved into the wood itself. And then when you go to reach for the door handle, it is just this very large wrought iron knocker.
Alrighty. I enter the store.
Okay. When you push the door open, there is actually a system of bells that have all been strung up throughout the city, or not throughout the city, but throughout the building itself. So as you push it open, this little jingle plays. So it's kind of like a Rube Goldberg machine of just bells kind of clanking into each other. And just boom, 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 boom. And like it happens whenever that door gets open. And so you just open into the door. You open the door and enter into Perfectly Tuned, and you start looking around. And you see that there is just a plethora of instruments of all kinds of make and model of different woods and fashions that have kind of been made. And you hear, "Oh, hello there!" And this tiny little gnomish man wearing very high pants. And has like these little suspenders coming down that kind of meet it. And it's like, he's like wearing grandpa pants where they came up well past where his belly button would be, but he's just holding them on up there. Is there anything that I can help you with, dear?
Oh, hello.
Such a beautiful face.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I was looking for, I don't know if they have them in the natural plane, but do you have something called a ukulele?
Just say a lot of big words, this natural plane. Describe it to me. I might have seen it on my travels or know it by a different name.
It's a bit like a lyre, a little bit smaller. It's got only 4 strings. It's like a hollow violin.
I think I have a few. Come. You there, the one with the horns. Would you like any instruments? You seem like more of a percussion man yourself. Well, we've got a triangle. And he just starts, like, walking off. Just come. I've worked in this shop for 75 years. I've put a lot of instruments into a lot of talented people's hands. But I haven't sold one of these, what did you call it, a ukulele. Mm-hmm. I haven't sold one of those in 20 years or so. People like the long-necked lutes that have lots of strings or multiple frets, or ones that can sound like the burrows themselves. But a little bit of precision and quick picking, and everything can kind of be played however you'd like. And he goes onto this shelf and this wall, and you can see that there are lyres, there are guitars, there are lutes, there are even harps that are kind of set up onto the wall, and everything, like, it's packed to the roof of this building, and the roof of this building is about 10 feet up, and you can see that there is just this tiny little stepping stool off to the side that looks like it has multiple rungs to possibly allow this gnome all the way up. How much coin are you looking to spend?
Oh, well, I'd like to have a look at what we're working with here. I only have, and she get out her coins and count them. Where is the gold in here?
D&D Beyond, everybody.
D&D.
Don't know where your gold is. That's okay.
It's underneath equipment, at the very right.
Mm-hmm.
Equipment, very right. There we are. Okay. I've got roughly about 50 gold on me. But I would prefer something that's sturdier. The sound isn't really that important. I'm kind of a casual player.
I see. Well, I think I might have something more up your alley over here. And he just kind of like walks. He makes it sound like he's going to go on this grandiose adventure to go and find it, but really he walks forward maybe all of 10 steps and looks up and, you're tall, grab that one. And he points to what looks to be this ukulele that's made of a very dark wood, and it has very nice looking strings coming down it. But there's not a whole lot of decoration or embossment. It just looks like a solid piece of wood.
All right.
Well, you can grab that one. It saves me the trouble of getting my ladder.
All right. She plucks it down.
Go
This
on. Give it a play.
She gives it a little strum. Bling.
Let me see that real quick. He takes it from you. I can't sell something that's slightly out of tune. And he just starts going to town on it, and he strums it a few times.
Yes. She peeks over at Blake. It's got to be perfectly tuned.
That's how we got the name of the shop. Used to be called Moderately Tuned, but we didn't sell nearly as many instruments. He just continues turning it.
She waits patiently.
And after about a minute or so of him just kind of strumming it, until eventually it does sound very melodic for being a 4-string instrument. Here you go. Yeah, try it again.
All right. She gives it another strum.
Yeah, and it sounds really nice. It definitely has that full-bodied sound that you would expect from this solid wood instrument. Like, it's not made of very cheap material, and it has a decent amount of heft to it as well. Like, if you were in a dire situation, this could possibly be used as a club for at least a few rounds. But you're kind of just admiring the handiwork on it, because it definitely looks like it was just made of one long piece of wood. There's not a separate piece for the neck to kind of be jammed on. And he lets you know, this was Sold to me by an old druid friend who was down on his luck. He shaped it himself. Said it brought him good luck, but, well, how lucky can you be if you gotta sell something to little old me?
No, I mean, it's lucky for me. How much for this?
I can sell that to you for 35 gold pieces.
All right. She'll get out 35, plunk that down into his hand.
Excellent, excellent. And are you sure your friend wouldn't like a drums, a triangle, maybe some shakers? It looks like an egg, and you just sort of rock it back in your hand, and if you do it on beat, it kind of fills the back. And those would only be a gold piece. That's just because it's hard to really seal it all in there.
Too rich for my blood.
I'll take one of those.
Excellent. Here you go. And he just hands you what it looks like this this wooden egg, and when you shake it, it just
Nice.
Yeah, it's just a shaky stone. So yeah, you can add a shaker and a lute, or not a lute, but a ukulele to your equipment.
Nice. Very pleased with that. And so she does. I'm willing to bet that D&D Beyond doesn't have a ukulele in their inventory.
No. But
is there a way to put in?
You would be able to rename a lute if you wanted to.
Okay, I'll do that. All right. All right, Blake. So you wanted to get your hood looked at.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see if we can find a tailor.
All right. And the little gnome actually lets you know, just, have you ever been to the Nimble Thimble? If you're looking for a tailor, they have the best prices in town. Old Marguerite likes to, well, she offers a deal. It's usually cheap.
And where would this be?
Oh, well, thankfully, it's not even a 15-minute walk from here. It's really 3 switchbacks down, 4th building on your left. There's a very large spool in front of it. You really can't miss it.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank your pretty friend as well. And he kind of gives a tiny little bow to Cori.
Oh.
I guess
have a good
we're
day.
heading off.
It was nice to meet you.
Yes, you were very helpful. Thank you so much.
And he just sort of nods and goes back into his shop, and you can just hear it sounds like a harmonica is being played as he sort of just posts up in his shop, and that's when we're going to pan to the top of Shroudport's cliff face with Caelum and Gwen just playing her flute. And the song that you were trying to remember and that you finally actually are able to get out with your lute is it's a very somber song. It isn't necessarily a fast-paced dance beat like you would play if you had any of the drums or percussion instruments that you would need in order to actually play a traditional Goliath song. There's a lot of missing animal leathers strapped over large gourds. Like, it's just a whole thing. You would need a lot of Goliaths to be able to play a proper tune. But Caelum, you hear from the flute what sounds... I was trying to find a flute in my house, but I could not find one. Just like even like a little recorder. But it sounds like do 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 do, and it's just kind of playing this very long drawn out song that seems very haunting. In that there are notes that just sort of trail off and then pick up right as they're about to end, and it just sort of seems to drag on. And as you continue to play Gwen, you lose yourself in the music, in the moment. And you are busy focusing on just trying to maintain this song. And Caelum, you just see Gwen's eyes just steadily begin to coat over with white as they continue to focus on their flute.
Quietly turns a page.
Are you like sitting like back to back so that way you aren't like really paying super close attention, or did you just pop a squat right next to her?
Pop a squat right next to her. He was about to say something, but then realized she's busy.
Okay. And make a perception check as well.
And that is 17.
Okay. So with your 17, because Gwen doesn't wear super concealing clothes, you actually see that the tattoo on her back is starting to grow, kind of like it was when she was raging, but it's much slower this time. And you can see it kind of just spreading onto her arms, spreading more onto her back.
Turns a page in his book.
Okay. Yeah, and Gwen, as you continue to play this very somber song, your vision just kind of it almost seems like the world around you gets very dark. And for a moment, you remember just sitting around a campfire with your Goliath friends, but it's not really the same this time. In that you aren't just sitting around a large campfire with all of these Goliaths. You're actually sitting around there with your new party. And you look over and you see that this is actually the night where Caelum had gotten harpooned. And so he is just up against a tree resting, and you can see that both Cori and Blake are also resting and meditating and kind of just having a very quiet night. And you continue to play this flute song, and you don't remember playing your flute during that time, but you also don't remember being the only one awake during that period. And as you continue to play, you see your vision just kind of focuses in on the flames in front of you, and they begin to flicker and glow. And then as you kind of look up while playing, you see that the space on the other side of the fire, as it flickers and kind of fills your vision and then winds back down, you see that there is a large 7-foot tall figure, kind of just like standing, and then they sit down across the way from you, and you can make a perception check as you continue to play.
It's not great. Perception is +6.
Okay.
No.
So you don't because it's pretty dark out and you are focusing on being able to play this song. You see this figure sit down, and it doesn't really hit you who they are until they begin to speak. And you recognize the voice as Chua, the mouth of spirits, as you had described them. It's good to see you're still practicing.
Am I speaking or playing?
You're still playing at this point.
Okay.
But you can, if you would like to say something back, you can, but currently you are just playing and focusing on this song.
I'm gonna kind of look at her and like look at my flute as I'm confused as to what's happening, why I'm here, if I'm conjuring her with this thing.
Took me a long time to find you, but your song rang true through the spirit world.
Oh.
This is why we teach. This is why you learn. So if you are ever in need, you play the song. And then we can converse.
Yeah. How are things?
They have been better.
Is the tribe okay?
Well, the tribe is the tribe. They do what they can to survive. And so we survive, as we always have.
All right.
Things are a little bit harder. Now
Why?
that, well, Torizo is still working his way to being chieftain. Once he
Okay.
becomes chieftain, things will probably level out, but
Right.
still a little hard.
Is his dad still in control?
It's been a slight turnover.
Yeah, that kind of happens.
What can you really do?
Right. Well, I'm sorry to bother you. I know you're
It's
busy
fine.
sky watching and stuff.
I watch the sky for things like this.
Fair enough. So I had this weird thing happen to me today, and I wasn't quite sure what it was or why it happened, but when I was like fighting, my tattoos on my back started glowing, and then this like spirit of what kind of looked like a Goliath came out of my back, and it might just be that I'm really tired because I didn't sleep at all last night, but it also might be because I don't know what it was. I've never seen that before, and is something wrong with me?
Nothing is wrong with you. You are perfectly fine.
Okay.
You have as strong a fighting spirit as you ever had. And she kind of bumps her chest. Or at least you see the motion of it because she's still over this fire.
Mm-hmm.
The tattoos, when they grow, that is all natural. You earned your spot. You earned your first tattoo. The rest of the
Yeah.
tattoo comes in time.
But I had to like actually get inked for the first one, and this one was like magic shit, and I've never been able to do magic shit before.
It's not magic.
Oh, thank God.
No, nothing so profound. Instead, you have found somebody who likes you. If that makes sense.
Like friends?
They're always friends. The way our tribe works is that we pay reverence to those that came before us, just as we will pay reverence to those that come after. And the way that we pay reverence is through combat, is through fighting, just like you do. Now, you said that they started glowing?
Yeah, like this form came out of me and it started matching my movements when I was fighting. When I was like raging. It felt like in a really intense rage. Like I've only felt that way like once before, but that was when I was really into it.
Well, Stompfoot, I'm sure that you will feel it again soon. Now, next time you rage, embrace it. We taught you not to hold back. And I never expect you to.
No.
But think about this tonight. When you're going to sleep, play the song that called me. Perhaps your new friend will visit you as well.
Oh, got it. Friend, not friends. Got it. Okay.
Do you
Cool.
know what he looked like?
Do I know what he looked like?
Make a history check, as you had only really looked at it from the outside from a minor illusion.
Yeah. History. Oh, -1. 13.
Okay. So yeah, with your 13, I don't know why I was gonna say shirteen. That's not a number. With your 13, because words matter. You know that this warrior had a very large scar that kind of started at the left, like on his left torso, slightly beneath where his ribs would be located, and it looked like it went up underneath the bottom of his rib cage to the solar plexus area. And it looks like it had just been like this large hooked scar that it looked like it had tried to mar some of the tattoos, but the tattoos simply just were covering it. They seem to have just grown over those scar spots. But other than that, the thing that really stood out to you during that time was that you guys shared the same tattoo. Like, it wasn't necessarily there wasn't a difference in tattoo. It seemed like the amount that you had covering your body actually correlated to how large and how great this other Goliath was.
Okay. I mean, he had the same tattoo I had, and I mean, once it went all over my body, he was like massive, so mine was like massive, and then he had this scar that was pretty badass that his tattoos grew over. It was like to his ribs and then came up him like he got hooked by something.
Well, there's something that we did not tell you about your tattoo. Is the tattoo of the Runt.
The Runt?
You were the smallest in the
tribe. Are you calling me a Runt?
No. It's honorable title.
Oh.
Honorable title. But
what?
We don't have a word in giant for what you are. Just
right.
Somebody who decided to leave their culture and join ours. So, we called you by size. There have been many Runts.
Yeah.
It does not mean that they have shied away from a fight. If anything, just means that they're going to work even harder.
Yeah.
But that's really all I know. If a Runt has found you, I think it would be a good fit. And with a scar like that, maybe there could be 3 or 4 that could possibly, that I would know of.
Oh, I see.
That had scars similar to that.
Right.
But
has there ever, I mean, have you seen this happen with anyone that's not a Goliath?
it is a Goliath, no. But you are also the first that we have really let into our tribe. So, first time for everything.
Yeah. Cool.
I simply tell the stories. I have not been alive for thousands of years.
Yeah, I know.
Now, keep playing. And remember, we will carry on the legacy of the Thunder. And she kind of bows to you, and as you go back to continue playing, the fire just sort of wreaths in front of you again, and then when it comes down, you are just sitting on this cliffside, and you have just been playing for... To Caelum, it's probably been a good 15-20 minutes, and it is this really nice flute song, but Gwen, when you kind of snap out of it, your lips are just parched. Like, you just have, like... It is, you just have a very, very dry mouth from having played consistently for that long.
Caelum has like leaned super in and is like trying to boop her nose with that. She's like, ah!
Jeez, what are you doing?
I got bored.
Do you have a water skin or something?
That's catnap. Here you go.
Did he hand me catnap?
No, yeah, he had her water.
All right, so Gwen, make another Constitution saving throw.
Oh, God. Good thing I have a great constitution, man. 15.
All right, so with your 15, you are still using all of the strength that you have mustered, are just willing yourself to stay awake. like this experience of kind of meeting Chua through your spirit song and then popping back isn't something that you are accustomed to, so you are very much just beleaguered at this point. You don't have any exhaustion yet because you've been rolling well enough to avoid that, but the only problem is that you still haven't slept from the meanlock encounter. There is a lot that has gone on in the 2 days that you have been awake, and now it is getting it's getting into the later afternoon. It's around 1 or 2 from what you can tell.
Caelum will like notice she's exhausted, kind of turn in his spot and like, all right, come on, I'll carry you back, I guess.
I don't need to be carried. I'm not a child.
Are you sure?
I am of age, thank you.
No, I mean,
No, I know, bud, but I just kind of got some news, and I don't want to like diminish the news by being carried. So, because I kind of just got told I was a badass. Like, I mean, I know we all know, but also like, if I get carried away from that, I feel like it's gonna be like, yeah, you're a badass. Maybe. I don't want to jinx it, okay?
It's gonna tap her shoulder gently and cast like Bear's Endurance, nodding his head. Oh, okay.
Oh, snap! What does Bear's Endurance do?
Advantage on con saves, and you get 10 temporary hit points.
Nice.
How many?
10 temporary hit points.
That's really good.
Yeah, because
2d6, friend.
I'm actually pretty hurt. Wait, you healed? No.
I healed 11 both on you and Farron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was at 5 at the end of that fight.
Woo.
All right, let's go back, bud.
All right.
I might need a little nappy poo.
Sounds good. So you guys are walking your way back to Shroudport, and then that's when we're gonna cut back over to Cori and Blake. As Blake, you guys have found the entryway to the Nimble Thimble, where you have been told that Marguerite resides, and you can see that this just looks like there's not like a whole lot of fanfare at this store. But as you open up the door, looking inside, it is just like there are a good 4 racks that are just full of different varieties and textures and colors of fabrics. And then on the right side, as the left-hand side of the store, was all of these different shelving units. On the right side, you can just see that there are cloaks and leather gear and other, like, there are wizard robes and nicer clothes that have just sort of been stuffed very nicely into sorting boxes. And you see that there is just this very, very short human woman, white hair pulled back in this large bun. Can I help you?
Yeah, I need to get this hood tailored in some way that I can actually wear it.
And you see that her eyes are just like very thin little slits, like she's barely able to keep them open, but she just has these very expressive eyebrows. She kind of like thinks a little bit. Are you looking for buttons?
Buttons be fine, yeah.
I can do little clasps if you prefer to unhook them. Otherwise, if you're just looking to tear down, buttons would be the best bet.
Buttons are great. I
love buttons
1 gold.
Too. That should be...
How much for the buttons?
Well, the buttons would be 2 silver, but really the hard part is putting in the work. I have old, tired fingers.
What's the how much for the total for the buttons, for the work, for everything?
It would be 3 gold pieces.
I've got that. Keep your gold. She plops 3 gold pieces into the old lady's hands.
and she kind of like puts one in her mouth and kind of like tries to bite it a little bit, but you can see like she doesn't have the top teeth in the gums anymore. It's just the bottom round. She just sort of like presses it against the top gum. And then you see her tongue kind of like dibble on it a little bit. That's real gold.
You wouldn't believe what sailors try to get out of old Marguerite's eyes. Make yourselves comfy. This shouldn't take more than 20 minutes or so.
Absolutely.
And I'll undo my cloak and hand it to her.
Thank you.
She'll take it and kind of shuffles off to a back corner where you can see that there is this very large high chair that she helps herself into, and then just pulls out a small needle and thread and just begins getting to work on it.
Coriander makes herself comfortable and like very quietly strums a couple of chords on her ukulele. Like she's very out of practice, so she's trying to keep it quiet so she doesn't disturb anybody. Plink, plank, plunk.
Yeah, and so she continues working through this. And then you see that there is actually a human man who walks into your guys' shop as well. And he kind of pokes his head in a little bit. And you can see that he has very nice, almost lush looking mutton chops. Like they don't look like they're face stubble. They look like they're more of just like head hair that has decided to continue growing down the side of his face. But they're very well groomed. And he sort of looks around. And he has this black vest on. And he has his sleeves rolled up to his elbows and just... Marguerite? Marguerite?
Oh, it's back here. Who is it?
It's me, Marguerite. It's Orgette. I'm here to pick up the order.
Oh, yes. Just a moment.
And she kind of hops down from her seat and walks over.
You were looking for 5 new vests. What did you call it? A barber's robe?
No, not a barber's robe. I needed a piece of fabric for the front side, so that way I could just easily remove hair after I was done.
That's okay. Just turn the cloak reverse. That way it catches the beard, too.
He just sort of smiles and just, yes, it does. Here, and he hands her just a pouch of coin, and he looks at the two of you and just, oh, it's, I'm sorry, I didn't actually see you there. Hello, I'm Orgette. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi.
I'm a barber from the Gold Quarter, but I don't do any of my business up there. It doesn't make any sense. Or in the Overlook District, sorry. I'm newer in town. Still used to Vascor. What? And he looks at Marguerite. What were they getting?
Well, there was just a small alteration with some buttons. The one with the horns said he likes buttons.
And she just continues, just threading away, and he smiles and just, how much was their order?
3 gold pieces.
And he looks at the two of you. Did you already pay?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Well, here. He hands you 3 gold as well, and just consider it on me. Marguerite is really the best in town, and I like helping her out as best I can.
I want to make an insight check.
Yeah, go for it.
I am sussed.
I remember the last time somebody was nice to me.
How very generous of you. Normally I would refuse, but
19.
I would like to encourage more generosity in the world.
Yeah, no, he seems like he's on the up and up. He seems like he's just in a good mood, ready to share some coin.
Blake is confused.
Does not compute.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. You both look a little tired. There is a bathhouse nearby if you're interested. It's a good, very nice place to relax. But I don't believe that you've said your names either. But that's fine. Don't even worry about it. I'll recognize both your faces. I'm very good with faces. And then
I don't know if I caught your name.
Orgette. I said it as I introduced myself.
Oh, Orgette. Oh, sorry. Cotton in my ears. It's Coriander. And she'll like put out a hand to him.
He'll shake your hand, and he has a very firm grasp.
Nice. She turns a little pink.
And you see this kind of like wry smile on his face as he sees your face getting a little pink, and he looks down. Just, it was nice to meet you, Coriander.
And it was Blake.
It's nice to meet you as well. And he kind of takes your dragony hand, and if you extend it to him, yeah, he'll take it in both your hands and just. It's very nice to meet you as well. I promise I won't remember you as Mr. B. Short for Buttons. All right. Have a good one. And he just sort of waves you off and then leaves through the store with this large bag of clothes that he had purchased. And then after he leaves, that's around the time that Marguerite is finished. And just...
He's always so charming.
And she kind of like preens off to the side a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, no, Coriander actually kind of like leans a little bit towards him as he walks away and then like shakes herself out of it. Goes back to full on orange, like business time.
Blake, make your perception check. Unless, Cori, you're not trying to hide this from everybody else in the store.
Oh, no, you probably should make that check.
Yeah. You can roll a stealth check to try and be stealthy about smelling a guy as he leaves.
No, she's not doing that.
Okay. What'd you get, Blake?
Dirty 20.
All right, yeah, you definitely notice that as this barber is leaving, Cori just... and then you see, like, face is kind of pink, and then shakes head, and it just switches back to that autumnal orange that you've grown to know her with.
Here you are. We're finished, unless you need anything else. Unless you're looking for some fine clothes to impress a gentleman caller.
And she just starts, like, elbowing Cori in the side of the leg.
Oh. Yeah. She seems flustered. But no. I need to stay focused on my work.
He makes it very difficult, but I understand.
Don't I know it?
Cut to Blake, like, buttoning his new hood.
Yeah, you got the clasps on, and then really quickly you, like, pull it back, and the buttons just clasp open, because they are the, like, metal suction buttons rather than, like, trying to get them, like, a pant button. And so you're able to just kind of, like, pop your hood down, and then put your hood back up, pop your hood down, and, like, it's very much like, okay, this is a stress test. We're going to figure out how many times they can do this. And then that's where, as you guys are exiting the Nimble Thimble, you have just kind of, you can either continue having your hood down or have it up.
It's up.
Okay. So yeah, you go back to just hood up, clasps on. Now you guys are standing outside of the Nimble Thimble.
Did you have any other errands, or is this it?
I don't think so. We should probably figure out what we're going to do next. I mean, I know we're wanting to head north and figure out what this whole hullabaloo is with all of the catnap, but we should figure out how.
Do you think everyone would prefer to go on, like, boat or?
We should probably ask them, but I know we're all kind of running low on money.
Well, a thing that my people used to do is just, and as we're walking, I'll just keep having this conversation.
Yeah.
We would hire ourselves out as security for like trading caravans and stuff.
Oh, excellent. We could go by foot and also make money by helping people.
Right, yeah.
I like it.
I'm not sure if we'll be able to find one that's going quite where we're going, but worth a try.
In the general direction, perhaps. And then we'll figure things out from there.
All right, and are you guys going back to the top gate, or are you going down to Fangs?
We're going to check and see if we can find Caelum and Gwen at Fangs.
Okay.
And if they're not there, then... Buh.
It's fair. So yeah, you guys start heading down, and so you are actually going to we'll actually switch back very quickly to Caelum and Gwen. Did you guys have anything else that you would like to do as you're walking back down to Fangs from where you were?
I'm just kind of gonna explain what happened to him, because friends don't keep secrets from friends.
No,
I
like
was
a one
actually...
character with 0 secrets. It's so good.
I was gonna have like a really meaningful conversation, but I see we're gonna do this now.
we can. I'm sorry.
No, yeah. As they're walking, explaining the situation, Caelum's just like, does this happen often? Like,
I mean, sometimes the Goliaths get chosen by their ancestors to like, it's like a power thing, but I mean, I'm the only non-Goliath, I'm gonna say in history, because I don't know and it sounds cooler, that has a spirit companion. I just have no idea who it is right now.
huh. Interesting. So she called you a runt.
Well, I mean, I am small. Have you ever met a Goliath?
Have I?
Nope.
No.
Not in your time at the temple.
So in general, they're like, I don't know, it's hard to gauge height from where I am, but they're kind of about as tall as Blake is. But they're like these big, like, tribal, beefy dudes and dudettes, and so, I mean, it'd be fair to say that I am the runt, because I am, like, I go up to their kneecaps.
Yeah, Caelum chuckles. Okay, fair enough. So I guess we gotta figure out who your spirit guide person is?
Yeah, no, I'll do that. I'll probably, like, I'll try and meditate again later or whatever, but I don't think this is kind of a tribe thing. So I don't know how much help. I mean, unless you want to meditate with me, but I feel like that didn't go very well last time, so I'm just like...
I don't want to make any more weird crystal babies with people, thank you.
Solid choice, sir.
One I think is enough, and I don't think I've been paying the support taxes or whatever on this one. I don't know. I'm just trying to make conversation. It's a very long walk back.
Well, I just like, what's up with the raven? They kind of like follow you.
I honestly don't know. They're just there sometimes. It's weird. Like, when I go to sleep, there's these weird, like, cloaked guys telling me stuff about knowledge and sleeping as an elf, and then when I meditate, there are ravens that steal memories or some shit. Sorry, language. Stuff.
Hi, it's Gwen. You can fucking curse around me.
Fuck!
Yeah! So, like... You don't have any memories? before you met those dudes?
I remember my time at the temple. That much is certain. But from what Cori's saying, and what Prescott was saying, whenever I am supposed to meditate, I'm supposed to remember my past lives.
Right.
Or something to that effect, but it's nothing.
Could
It's
this
always
be
the
your
same
first
thing.
life?
Is that a possibility?
I don't know, dude.
And that's about the
grew up-
time that you guys get to Fangs, as you're just kind of having this realization. And Cori and Blake, you guys have been here for probably 45 minutes or so. And looking around, you can see that there is Prescott, Mugwort, and Farron, and they all invite you over to their table as they did previously. And Farron insists on paying for drinks, as he is a kind man. So you guys have just been able to partake in beverages and are and he's very excited about talking about the fights that you guys had. That's around the time that you guys see Gwen and Caelum actually walking in through the bar door, and the daytime staff is currently there. So Fang is there, Mirth is there, and you know that Huddle is in the kitchen, and you don't have to deal with this weird cat man who insists on saying yeah at the end of all of his sentences.
He's my favorite. Oh god, your friend's here. I thought they were leaving, man.
No, they're leaving tomorrow.
Gwen, how's it going? And like Mugwort just gets very loud as soon as he recognizes you.
Hey, Cori, can I put you on Caleb duty? I'm gonna go take a nap.
Wait, what?
Harpoon, crystal baby thing, Raven, jumping through a window, running away. You need watching, sir.
Okay, fair enough.
That was in the last 2 days.
That's not including getting separated in the sewer.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I hike up my belt and I go upstairs.
And Mugwort just,
She's had a long
Prescott
few days.
just pats him on the back, just let her go, it'll be fine. Just, but she was really strong. Like, he just seems,
I'm learning things about my friends I never thought I would learn.
Well, that's what happens when you do not ask, Caelum. Now, Caelum, Cori and Blake were saying that you were all planning on heading out for some sort of adventure in the next couple days.
Yeah, so some of the jobs we took, well, one of the jobs we took here kind of gave us a little bit of intrigue, and we've been hearing some stuff happening in the north, so we kind of want to check it out.
It's very fair. Do any of you three know how you're going to be getting up there yet? I mean, we're taking a boat. You could probably find either room on our ship or somebody else's ship.
Well, preferably we would find a way to make money while heading up there. And Blake had this fantastic idea.
Oh, do tell.
Yeah, just where I'm from, we used to, or the older hunters, they hired themselves out as security on trade caravans and stuff.
That can be a very lucrative business decision. There's nothing wrong with being a sellsword, at least for a few days, weeks at a time. Now, before you guys go up there, do you have enough food? Do you have enough water?
Yes, Dad. Gosh.
Mommy's taking
Look.
a nap, okay? You guys need looking after.
Look, all I'm saying is that the first time I left town thinking I was going to make something of myself, I came back to town 2 days later, starving, and realized that I should probably have taken some rations with me.
I do only have rations for 1 day.
How much gold? I have left?
And Mirth kind of comes over and sets down some more drinks and sets down a plate of food, and says to you, Cori, "Well, you've never needed to buy your own rations since you got here, have you?" And like just starts walking away again.
Oh.
I have 1 gold.
I have 10 silver, which equates to 1 gold.
1 gold.
I think it's a lot funnier if I just have silver.
Well, that's at least...
How much does Gwen have? Oh,
Mama's rolling in it.
30.
yeah, she is.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Call me mama again.
No.
I'm very tired, everyone. Sorry.
Listen, Coriander will foot the bill. Her personality trait in autumn form is help everybody, and her flaw is I help too much. So, pretty much whatever you want, say that you want it, and make sure she's
Very
in earshot.
guilty.
Okay, so... Well, depends on where you're going for rations. You could probably end up finding, well, some hardtack to last you. Typically, you can find some for a couple silver apiece, as the DM looks through the book to see just how expensive rations are.
What were you feeding Caelum on the road?
Well, I mean, we were lucky enough to have Mugwort. He can kind of just go off and find food.
Right. But Caelum is a vegetarian,
Well,
so...
we found mushrooms. There are plenty of ferns that actually have small
Hold on,
brambles.
I'm right here. Why are we talking like I'm a pet?
You want to make sure to feed Caelum at least twice a day.
Don't feed Caelum after midnight.
He gets very cranky.
Don't get him wet.
Oh my god, Caelum is just no.
Well,
Yeah, no, like these guys are the people that she goes to for all things taking care of Caelum related. Well,
typically you can find a day's worth of rations for 5 silver.
okay, all right. Well, you know, I used to do something similar in the Feywild. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I don't know the plants on this plane very well.
Well, I've not heard much of the Feywild other than the plants can sometimes sing to you or dance. So as long as you don't find any singing or dancing plants that seem edible, maybe just eat a little bit and wait it out. And if you don't get sick, then you're totally fine. And that's when Prescott just sort of like gives him this really wide look, just... How are you not dead when we found you? Farron just gives a big shrug and then continues drinking.
I'm currently checking my Constitution modifier, and I'm just like, Yeah, that makes sense. That could work out. Might. Well, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get as many rations as possible, and if I happen to be able to find anything fresh on the way, then so be it.
Well, who knows? You might luck out and find somebody who's transporting produce or something.
Precisely.
It happens. Not as often as you would think, but it does happen.
Mike, do you know how long of a trip it's going to be?
Do I know how long of a trip it's going to be?
You guys, I do not believe, have purchased a map yet. And I'm not sure that you were given a map of the surrounding region yet either. So, just sort of as a general thing, you have no idea. You know that it would take at least...
I'm going to write a shopping list.
It would take at least 15 days to walk back to where you originated from. Or not 15, sorry. That would be
About a
on
week.
my handy notes. Yeah, it would actually take around 10 days.
All right.
Just a 10-day.
Just a 10-day.
But
Do we 10 days around here?
No, not in this world. We go by the standard 7 for a week.
Well, in the Feywild.
time means nothing.
We don't even have days. The sun just hangs up there.
What was the name of the kid in Magic School Bus who was always like, we didn't do this at my old school?
Arnold.
Yeah, that was Arnold. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was Arnold.
Oh, no,
It
no,
was
no,
the-
no. Phoebe
Yeah,
was
Right.
Phoebe. Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. Cori is Phoebe. Not Friends Phoebe. Magic School Bus Phoebe.
There you go.
Same universe.
But we might not be going all the way over there. At least for our first stop.
Right, there's like trade towns in between, right?
Yeah. And we have
That
no
doesn't go bad, does it?
we haven't actually hired ourselves on yet, so we're not exactly sure where we're going.
Oh. Oh, we probably should get that figured out.
Right, I would go do it, but I'm terrible at talking. And also, I scare people.
I mean,
Listen.
I could try.
Scaring people is sometimes useful.
Agreed. And I think that might be the first thing we've ever agreed on. Prescott continues taking a sip of his drink.
Shoots him a look.
Just shrugs a little bit.
I could stand to scare a few more people. Well, let's get traveling plans underway, and then we can go from there and get all of our rations. We should probably get a map. Got to write a note to myself. Rations, map, job. Not in that order. Inverse order.
Yes.
Can I fall asleep because he cast that thing on me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that just gave you like an added
Okay.
buff. But if you are just like, no, it is night time for the wine ant, like there is nothing that is gonna stop you from going to bed.
Okay.
Fell asleep after drinking a protein shake.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So yeah, I'm gonna try and just take a nap.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to just take a nap.
Okay, make a Constitution save.
How long does this endurance last?
An hour.
Oh.
Okay.
It would have been past that hour-long point for you guys to walk all the way down, because it's several hours from the top of Shroudport to the bottom.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, so you can definitely take an hour-long short rest as just a quick nap if you would like to. And I think that is actually where we are going to be going into our first break of the evening. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has decided to come by this week, as I don't mentally scar my players. So, you know, balancing act. It's a balancing act. I talk about butt pants and I give my players an easy time. So I want to say thank you to everybody who has decided to come on by for tonight's session. We're going to be trying and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So grab a drink, grab a food, grab a friend, and bring them along for this wonderful ride. So we will see you guys shortly. So don't go no place. All right, everybody. And welcome back, everybody who decided to be a cool, awesome best friend and visit with us during this last half of tonight's episode. Before we begin again, I would like to say we have an audio cast. So if you are just tuning in and missing out, you can actually find the audio cast of this very series uploaded tomorrow. It's a good time. I'm gonna post the link to it in our chat. So all of you audiocast listeners who are hearing this, I mean, you guys did the great job already. You're listening to the audiocast. It's a good time. We just hit over 330 unique downloads for our episodes. There's a lot of iTunes users out there, so if you are listening on iTunes, you should be a super cool best friend and leave us a review, leave your honest thoughts and opinions, and I'll read them because I like reading.
5 stars on Yelp.
Yeah, Yelp me if that's a thing. I don't think that they can do that. That's fine. But yeah, and we've also kind of gone through some rebranding in that it is no longer like 3 different unique URLs that you need to go to. So if you go to YouTube, it is just YouTube/The Indoor Adventurer, Twitch.tv/The Indoor Adventurer, Patreon/The Indoor Adventurer. That's how it is for all of them, except for Twitter because it's too long. And there's also a dude from 2015 who calls himself the Indoor Adventurer, so I post more frequently there. It's mine now. But it's right here. Anyways, so where we left off was Gwen going to take a big sleepy nap, and the rest of the group kind of realizing we actually aren't really prepared to go on an extremely long journey to the north. So we should probably get at least some rations and maybe some other gear as well. So we're actually going to start off with Gwen, who you have laid down to go to sleep. You are just sawing logs. This is a very traditional Gwen sleepy time in that you have covers and blankets, but like you make your own bed regardless of how the bed was made for you. So like you have kind of like set yourself up in just like the most comfortable position. It's kind of like a large nest of blankets and pillow. And you as you are going to sleep, you hear that same kind of flute song that had played previously while you were that you had zoned out to, and you just sort of hear it playing in the back of your mind. And as you drift closer and closer to sleep, you can hear that sound just getting kind of louder and louder and louder until you feel yourself falling asleep. And it is that weird in-between dream state where you know that you're sleeping, but you have not been yet, you still aren't capable of lucid dreaming yet. And as your eyes kind of fixate in this dream-like state, you can see that you are around a campfire again. Although this is a campfire that you have not seen or been to directly, but it's familiar. It's a very nice campfire, and it kind of goes down into a bowl, and you just have like a plate of food that you're passively eating, but you still hear this song playing. And I would like for you to make a perception check as you kind of gain agency within your dream.
17.
Okay, so with your 17, you are able to locate the source of the song that you had been playing before that has kind of led you into this dream state. And looking up, you see that there is what looks to be a hunched over 7'5", almost 8 foot tall figure that is just playing this flute. And he is playing it in the same exact way that you did, until eventually the song kind of comes to its natural end and sets it down.
So, didn't expect to see you here.
You just see this figure kind of like stand up a little bit. Then he walks over around the fire, and you can just see this towering figure, completely bald on top, but he just has these insane looking tattoos that are just all over his body that go up down to his jaw and just kind of rest there. And you see others are going over the back of his head, but more in like a ring formation, leaving the top just completely markless.
So, you the one who called me, eh?
I kind of look down. Am I me?
Yeah, you're you.
Oh.
You were just eating a plate of food, listening to the song.
Is it good food? Like, can
Yeah.
I taste it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did I call you?
Well, you're fighting this champ who seemed to be able to call wind to some shit. Looked like he
Yeah.
could be knocked down a peg, so I figure why not?
Oh, that was you?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh, I stand up and I give him the salute of our tribe, I guess.
Sit the fuck back down.
Right. All right. Cool.
You don't salute here. What are you doing?
I don't know where I am.
You're here, and that's all where it really matters. No.
If there's protocol, I should know. You should tell me
No,
first.
no real protocol here. Jesus, you're small. Well,
I'm a halfling.
stand up, stand tall.
He just told me to sit down. I
stand up.
And as you do, you actually feel the world kind of shrink around you until you are about eye level with him.
Ooh.
Yeah. See?
Wow.
Doesn't matter where we are as long as we're here.
And you can kind of see, looking in his eye, he has, like, as you are on your way, kind of growing up to his size, you can actually see that there is that large scar that goes from his side up to his solar plexus. And he has other scars, like, kind of on his face. You can see one that goes from about his ear down to his lower jaw. And he just looks, again, he looks at you, and he has the trademark white eyes of a Goliath as well. Just,
So, you played my song? Fought somebody who needed to be brought down? But, I don't know. I mean, who even are you? Sure, I came to fight, but fighting's fun.
Right. I'm Gwen Stompfoot. You can call me the Tiny Terror too.
Well, Gwen Stompfoot. My name is Eulalian. It's nice to meet you. Eulalian Greyskull. You know why they call me Greyskull?
Cause
bends his head down a little bit and points to the top.
It's never been marked. Not in battle, not by blood, and certainly not by tattoo.
Sweet.
Now, I like to think that we're probably going to have an arrangement of sort. I like fighting with you. Think it was fun. So let's say we fight. Test our metal for what it's worth.
Yeah, I'm down. Can I go back to being my normal size?
If you insist. I mean, this is your dream. You can kind of do with it as you please.
Is it like a real dream or like...
All dreams are little real. So
Fair
we meet
enough.
our ancestors.
Alright, you Laylee. Let's do this shit.
All right.
How you want to play it?
Well, since this is your dream, pick your battlefield. Do you want to fight in the mountains? Do you want to fight in the ocean, on top of the ocean, near the ocean, in the woods? Where do you want to fight? I fight everywhere. Doesn't matter to me. Always win.
And he kind of just gives you this big toothy grin when he says he always wins.
Let's do a hilltop.
It's alright. Hilltop it is.
And you see him, he pulls from his back this giant great axe. And you see him spin it around in his hands a couple times and then slam it down into the center of the fire. And when it does, you actually see the night sky get torn in half as it sort of just starts peeling from side to side, revealing the top of this hillside as a nice wind just sort of sweeps by you.
That's better. I mean, we can go to a different hill if this one's not exactly your size.
I mean, it's fine. It's a hill, man.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about it.
Alright. So, how do you like to fight? When you were fighting whatever the fuck his name was, you fought for blood. Are we fighting for blood or are we fighting for points?
Well, I am pretty tired. I've been doing a lot of fighting over the past couple days, so...
So what?
Do
We
I
could
have all my
do...
HP?
Yeah, you have all in your dreamlike state. You are feeling entirely rested. You have all of your HP. You have all of your abilities with you.
Okay.
Because if you don't want to fight using weapons,
And he's kind of like just holding this giant axe.
we could fight fisticuffs. We could just wrestle, see who can pin who. We could arm wrestle. But you want to fight as your own strength and your own size.
Yeah. I mean, not that I couldn't beat you in an arm wrestling contest, but pinning is kind of harder when you can't, like, physically get on top of someone and hold them down. So, why don't we do hand to hand, and we'll see how it goes.
That sounds good to me.
And you see him take his axe and he just swings it down into the ground again. And this time, when his axe sinks into the ground, you hear this as the ground underneath you actually shunts down about 5 feet to make this ring in the earth around you. And you see him just like touch the handle a little bit, make sure that the axe itself is very set firmly in the ground. Just,
Yeah, it's all right. This one works fine. All right.
he cracks his knuckles, gets down into a stance.
I'll let you have the first go. Come the fuck on.
All right. So she is going to rage.
Okay.
And then we're kind of face to face.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna run at him in a very obvious. I'm gonna like do a running punch, and then I'm gonna slide through his legs
Okay.
and climb up his back.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so make an athletics check.
22.
Okay. Yeah, so with that, you just like scrabble around his leg and begin just climbing up. Just, hey, what the fuck? And he just like starts like trying to get you with his arms at your back, and he's not really able to. And as you look up, you can see that at the center of his back is the tattoo that you have gotten, and you haven't really gotten a very good look of this tattoo up close. I mean, you don't really ever get the chance to see something directly on your back, as Blake is very well aware of. But you see that there is just this large tattoo, and you can see that it begins to sprawl out. And from the way that it looks like a series of rolling hills that really help accentuate his muscles as well. And like they are just kind of covering the sides of his arms and scaling up his lower half onto his back as well. You can see that his legs are, it looks like are towards his ankles and calves, that there are, had to think of his calf. No, not the calf. Smaller one. The lower leg bit. I'm really bad at anatomy. Okay, that's calf. So yeah, on his lower calves, yeah, you see that there is what looks to be like 2 rings of trees around where his boot cuffs are, but then those just steadily grow into these much larger trees that you can see kind of connect right as his back, like right as his loincloth hits the back. You're pretty sure that they form into one tree on his butt, but you can't be super certain. So yeah, you are now just like scrabbled up onto the back of this Goliath. Is there anything else that you would like to do?
Can I punch him in the kidney?
Yeah, you can try. So make an attack roll.
Okay. Ooh, calm down. All right, that's a 17.
All right, so with your 17, you definitely hit. Roll for damage.
Is an unarmed strike just my... Or do I get something else for an unarmed strike because I'm a barbarian?
1 plus strength, unless you are a monk.
Yeah, so 3.
Or have Tavern Brawler.
Hey man, next level.
Right.
All right. So how much?
3.
Okay. So he will
This is
take
gonna take forever.
3 damage, and he just, "Hey, what the fuck?" And
Just cackling on his back.
you hear him cackling, and then you see that tattoo on his back just light up like a Christmas tree. Like it is like blaring in your eyes, but you're still kind of holding on. And then you feel your stomach kind of sink into the lower part of your body as he jumps up in the air and then slams himself down onto his back just to squash you behind as you try and jetpack. So if you would like to jump out of the way, you can make a dexterity saving throw.
I will try to do that. All right. That's a 7.
All right. So he's going to deal 9 points of bludgeoning damage as he just fully slams his back with you under it just into the ground.
Okay.
And then he rolls off to the side, stands up, and goes to grab at one of your legs.
Oh. Supposed to grab at what?
He's going to grab at one of your legs to
Okay.
try and just pick you up.
Okay.
So you can make a athletics or acrobatics check as he just tries to lumber over and grab you.
Okay. Isn't he just trying to hit my AC?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or for grappling, it is the contest.
Oh, right. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
He is grappling. Okay. Ooh! That's a dirty 20.
All right, so he goes down to reach over, and you like, oh God, and like you just roll out of the way as his fist kind of comes down, and you can hear this as his hand actually connects with the dirt, and he looks over and just gives you this big grin.
Playing feisty. That's the right way to fight.
And that is when we're gonna pan over to our shopping crew.
Shopping crew.
As you guys have successfully garnished up your shopping list with all of the things that you feel like you will need in order to head north.
You think we're gonna need like weather cloaks? It's gonna get cold in the north.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it does get a little chilly. It's also towards the end of the year, so winter will be upon us soon.
Winter is coming.
It's an old
You're
legend to
coming
say.
with us?
I have nothing to do.
Sorry, I was.
Oh, talking to Farron.
Who else?
It's
who else
Farron,
is here?
Prescott, and Mugwort. Those 3 shitheads are still there hanging out with you guys.
Oh, I thought we were leaving.
Yeah, you guys can start leaving if you would like. I've just been like, all right, bye, and like start heading out.
Yeah, let's
We
do that.
do that. We need to find it. We need to find a job. We need to find rations. We need to find a map.
Hey there, kid, come here. Yeah, sure, mister. I can take your job.
All right, so you guys can make investigation checks to know where you're going, and you know that you could just buy rations from Fang. Like you don't need
Everyone
to go to...
doing their own, or
We're gonna say if you guys would like, you can give advantage to one person to roll.
I got 2.
I got an
Fine.
8.
Okay.
All right, give it. Well, I got a 12.
Okay.
Oh, I meant like I have +2 to investigation, but I'll go ahead and roll since y'all did.
Sorry.
Okay, 21.
Okay.
21.
There you go.
Yeah, so Blake, even though you haven't spent a whole lot of time in this city, you have spent enough time to kind of get the general layout of where things are and where you need to go. So you end up, you know that if you were to go, are you guys looking for the map right now? Or are you looking for clothes? Just looking for jobs? What are you guys currently looking for at the top of your priority list?
I would have wanted to go for the jobs.
Okay. So you would know that Fang has his job board, but that's more for jobs that are closer in the city. Other than that, you would know that the stables in town towards the top of the hill are actually going to be your best bet to look for, to talk amongst the stable hands, talk amongst the people there to see if they're actually looking for help or not. And so it takes you guys, it's a couple hour walk to actually get to the top of the city. And now that you've climbed up and down and up this city twice today, your legs they're burning something fierce. But I mean, you guys are tried and true adventurers. Never skip leg day. And so yeah, Caelum is just sweating.
I should not
up a
have
storm.
worn armor.
All right, so yeah, you guys end up going towards the stables, and when you get there, you see that there is what looks to be a kind of darker leather-skinned woman, just like that nice like brownish texture of just having been outside forever, and she seems to be shaking hands with the stableman and kind of walking off. And you can see that there are other people kind of just milling about with their horses and carts as well. And you see one of them just, "Yes, hello, can I help you?" And this human man comes over. He kind of has like this large white beard, and his hair is just pulled back in a nice bun.
Cori, you want to take this?
I don't
Cori
see any
is
horses.
kind of wistfully looking at the horses, and then like shakes out of it when Blake taps her. Like, oh yes, okay. Hello. We are looking for a job. Like we would like to see if there were any caravaneers who were in need of security.
Ah. If you were asking for a job here, I would have said that, well, we were in the market. One of our stable hands seemed to have gotten himself into some trouble with a cheese lord.
Oh no!
Yeah, it was a whole big thing, but apparently there was a group of scrappy youngins that decided to take care of it. If you're looking for caravan work, we just missed Harlena. She says she was looking for somebody. But I know that there are two people who are heading out. One bright and early tomorrow, if you're a morning riser, and then another more midday. If you're looking for a late rising,
Right.
I think they're actually both over at their carts. One of them just refuses to leave, says that he'll sleep there till he dies, and well, the other just came up to feed his horse before going down for the evening. But there's you'll want to talk to Parnell. He's a tiefling man. He's got 6 fingers on each hand, or there's Crimshaw, who's a gnome with a gold tooth. You can't really miss him.
Let's go for the gnome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, my pleasure.
What do you think, boys?
I mean, we could, talk to each one, see how it goes, and
Yeah, if neither one of them is heading north, then it's kind of a lost cause anyway.
yeah.
All right, let's see who we can find.
All right,
I look for either one of those guys.
make an investigation check.
All right.
You can make it with advantage because you were given a pretty good description of both of them.
Great. I get a 7. No. Yes, a 7.
All right, so kind of looking around, you're looking around the stable, and you can see that there is it looks like this kind of looks a little weary as a horse, like maybe it also had to go up and down the hill several times today, but it's just sort of munching out of a bucket that just has some spare grain in it, and it just happily swishing its tail. And looking around, you don't really see anybody, but it has this large cart next to it. And you're kind of poking around, and you just you hear this. Like there's just this like gold tooth gnome just giving you the stink eye. Just, what is it that you're looking for?
Terribly sorry. This is a beautiful creature you have here.
She does the job.
Are you Are you Grimshaw?
Grimshaw. I don't know any Grimshaw.
Oh, Grimshaw. Okay, sorry.
Common K.
Alrighty, thank you. We were wondering. We heard that you were looking for security for your caravan. Are you? Where are you heading exactly?
I'm going to Marysville. Marysville, about a week going north. Small little fishing town. It's not really too special, too important.
Alrighty. What are the pay?
What?
What would be the pay for 4 adventurers, 4 strong arms, and watchful eyes? Pairs of eyes.
I can give you 15 gold per. See me through the week.
Alright.
See me through the week.
15 gold
15 gold.
Head or day?
It's a head. But I got lots of things. Got lots of things. I don't sell one particular thing. I sell a mishmash. Huge conglomeration. Why would I sell one? Why would I only want to sell one thing? One thing's boring. I sell lots of things.
Right.
Looking for glasses that you can just kind of scrunch out and see far away. I got me one of those. One of the inside glass bits might not work, but if you got yourself somebody who can fix things right up with either magic or a little bit of tinkering tools, it would probably be better in your hands than in mine. But coin is better in my hands than in yours. Got lots of things.
All right. We're shopping around, just trying to see if everybody's heading in the same direction that we want to go. We'll come back to you and let you know if we're willing to take this job.
Well, I offer the best deals in town. Just remember that. Doesn't matter what town I'm in, always the best deals.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. And Coriander kind of, walks away leisurely, kind of writing notes, and takes a moment to pat the horse and just kind of thinks, one day.
I'll get my horse.
A mighty steed, fit for a knight, and she will go and try and find this tiefling.
All right.
And the tiefling's name was Parnell. I'm really not very good at this. Parnell. All right.
And that is when we were going to transition back to Sleepy Gwen, who it is now your turn in this spiritual combat with Eulalie and Grayskull.
So did he stand back up?
Yeah, he stood back up.
Okay.
And he went to grab at your foot, but you rolled out of the way.
Okay, I'm going to make this a little cinematic, but basically what I want to try and do is kick him in the face, but I want to grab onto his arm and pull myself so that I thrust my foot into his face since he's already bent over.
Okay.
And I'm using him as leverage.
Okay, make an acrobatics check as you try and leap up off of this guy, or I'm gonna say athletics or acrobatics, depending on how much flourish you want to add.
All right. That's not great. That's a 7.
All right. So with your 7, you go to kick him right in his face, and he sees it coming and just kind of moves his head out of the way. So your foot goes wide, and you kind of tumble back down his side.
You're 3. It would take 3 or 4 of you standing on top of each other, but you tried to kick me in the face. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm well, maybe I'll just have to get you at my level, and I'm gonna try and kick him in the knee.
Okay, make an attack.
Punch him right in the back of the leg. Yeah. That's a 12.
Okay. That does not
13.
meet his
13.
AC. Yeah, 13 does not meet either, especially when he is in full rage mode. And you see his back sort of wind up, and you can see all the muscles on his back just tense up. And then he swings his arm wide and just goes to club you, just clothesline you with the back of his arm. And he is going to get an 18 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay. So he is going to deal 5 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
As this small tree-sized arm just comes back and just completely smashes into you. And he does more of a chest blow than he does a headshot. And you can feel your feet kind of pick up. And then you land with that skidding anime style where you see the dust trails come back.
Yeah.
And he looks at you and just,
We could have done weapons. You chose this. Fine by me. Now, I have to ask you one question. Do you think you're even ready to hold my mantle?
Well, considering I've never heard of you before, I think I'll be all right.
you can see he kind of like gets this like little dejected look, just, and he sort of like stops, and you see his tattoos just starting to like wind down a little bit, and he's,
No shit, really. No one talks about Eulalie and Grayskull anymore.
Well, I don't even know how long ago you died, dude.
It was only like 1,500 years ago. It really wasn't that long of a time.
It's kind of a long time for,
No.
I mean, you're probably in, like, the general ancestor prayer.
Oh, that's bullshit.
But
I had my own songs. Everyone knew the chorus. You could just walk into a bar and go, Eulalie in, and everyone would just start cheering.
But if you join up with me, you'll be with the first ever halfling to pass the test, and I point to my tattoo on my back, and the first to be accepted as an honorary Goliath. So,
Well, I'll do you one better. If I join with you, you won't be honorary. You'll have a real Goliath right by you.
she gets a little, like a little choked up, like, me?
If you already say that you're the first, what would you say, halfling? If that's even a word. You're the first halfling to join our culture. You're the first one to get, let me see that tattoo.
I just, like, lift up my shirt in the back.
It's been some time since I've seen something that resembles my own back.
Yeah.
I think we could make this work. Now, you already came in. You're already doing these things today. Already, like, are people already prepped for song, for revelry? Do they? I mean, if we work together, then maybe we could be even greater than the sum of our weapons. Wait, parts, that's the one. Look, it's been quite a while since I talked to really anyone.
It's all good, man.
Yeah. I'm not the sharpest blade in the shed, but clever, fighty, everything that you would need.
I just need you to stand by me and help me protect my friends.
I can do. If there's one thing I understand, it's keeping friends safe. How do you think I got this?
and he points to his giant scar up his chest.
Yeah, I was wondering how you got that, because that's a pretty badass scar.
Well, there was a group of other Goliaths led by some dickhead, and he decided that my group and his group should be the same group. I didn't agree, so he cut me down where I stood, and it was kind of a big deal. But killed him too. I only got this guy. He has to walk around the afterlife holding his head out like, oh, look at me. Oh, no. And you want to know what? Every time anybody asks, oh, what happened to your fucking head? He has to say a runt did it.
Nah. Yeah.
Motherfucker.
All right, I like you.
I like you as well. What'd you say your name was?
Gwen.
Gwen?
Stompfoot.
Gwen Stompfoot. I like it. It's got a good ring. Now, Gwen, you chose this field, did you not? This hill?
Yeah.
Take a good look around.
Make a perception check.
Okay, like, it's a hill. Damn, orange dice, do work. All right, sorry. Perception is, I should know this by now. It's supposed to, it says 18.
Okay, so with your 18, you see off maybe about a mile away from the top of this hill that there is what looks to be a collection of boats that are all just tied up next to each other. But there are at least 50 or 60 boats to just create this small floating mass. And he looks at it, just kind of rubs his chin a little bit.
All right. So you know, boats, big fucking hill.
He kind of looks around a little bit, turns around behind him.
We got the forest that way.
And he points over to the east.
Yeah?
That.
And you see him pick up his axe again and then just swing it and plant it into the ground.
That is where you can find the runt axe. This is my weapon. All you gotta do is find it.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, awesome that you're joining with me. Amazing, but now you're sending me on a fucking treasure hunt and I am all about it.
Well, what kind of fighter would I be if I didn't have my own weapon to swing around?
Right? Yes! She's just like super hype. Wait,
What?
can I use it? I mean, it's kind of big. I mean, I'm pretty strong, but like physically, it's harder for me to like, you know, it's all about momentum and like.
Pick it up.
I pick it up.
Yeah, you go, and where normally you are met with a very, very hefty weapon, this, you have felt heavier rapiers. Like, this just feels like the lightest possible weapon that you have ever used. It's almost like you have a reed in your hands.
Oh my god. Yes!
This axe can be yours. Can be ours again. What we gotta do is find it. You think you can do that? Because we got, look, alright, like I said, I'm really bad with being smart about things. But there is a bunch of boats, there's woods, we're on a hill.
Yeah.
I feel like we can make this work.
I think so too. If you see a place that looks similar, give me a little nudge. Wait, are you gonna be talking in my head?
No, I'm not that kind of spirit.
All right, thank God. All
I'm
right,
usually
cool.
pretty drunk, to be fair.
Sweet.
It's a good afterlife.
Right? Dying in combat seems like the way to go.
Now, come here.
And he gets down and like extends his arms out.
Just bring it in.
Are we hugging?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just bring it in.
All right, I hug him.
And he just wraps you in these large Goliath arms, and he just gives you a really tight squeeze. And as you do, you can feel your vision kind of going dark again, but you still feel that tightness, still feel that pressure of a very nice hug. And when you wake up, you have wrapped yourself in your blankets to the point where you just can't move. And you're just kind of like struggling in your bed as your blankets have decided to give you a hug as well.
Aww. I inch my way off the bed.
Yeah, so you are now awake, and this is when we are going to go back to the shopping crew. So, you guys were looking for you guys were looking for Parnell, the tiefling man. And after a little bit, like, you go to the very last possible stable, and you can just see that there is this black cat that looks like it has a streak of that brindle pattern along its back ridge. And when it sees you, Blake, it just goes like, kind of like scrambles back. Just
okay.
It's, come on, Whiskers, we've been through this so many times. Why? And you see that coming from behind this cart is a gray-skinned tiefling, and they have their eyes are pupilless white, and you can see that there are two tiny little stubby horns coming up from the top of his head, and he's wearing what looks to be just very casual clothes, like a linen shirt that doesn't really fit all too well, as well as just these burlap pants that seem to have patchwork, that seem to have had holes at one point, but then got patched up and covered. And he just kind of looks up at the three of you and just, I already paid the stableman to rest up here. I didn't do it. If you're wondering what it is, it wasn't me. I have been here the whole time. You can ask the stableman. I know that everyone likes to shit on tieflings, but I was here.
We don't work here. We don't work here.
Oh, thank God. I was still here, but, like, really, that's a relief.
Honestly, hold on just a second. And this guy seems pretty chill, right? He's not super aggro.
Yeah.
All right. Cori's gonna turn around. Caelum, do you want to try with this guy?
You want to?
Caelum, when you look back, Parnell is kind of like crouched down with a tiny little piece of what looks to be raw meat. Just, here, Whiskers. And like he's kind of just like trying to like get his cat's attention with it.
Oh, okay, I guess I can try talking to someone.
Yeah, go for it. I'll just be over here.
Okay.
She'll
Strides
stand
forward.
back with Blake.
Hi, Parnell. I'm Caelum, and these are my associates, Blake and Coriander. And well, we were wondering if you were heading northward and wanted some guard company people.
That actually would be amazing. It's nice to meet you. And he puts out his hand, and you can just see that there is an extra finger kind of coming along the bottom, his bottom hand. He clasps your hand.
Ooh, weird.
You would not believe the number of people who would just rather me die on the roadside. But, again, not really much I can do about it. I was just sort of born this way, and people are dicks. Like, I can't do anything about the fact that I have extra fingers and nibbly bits.
We have to take this guy.
We have.
This is our NPC. It has to be him.
Listen, personally, I have, I've got that whole tiefling thing. Like, I've always got to take the tiefling. So I was like, back off. Let them choose.
And, like, you don't see that he has a tail or anything like that. Like, he just sort of has, like, his shoulders are a little bit set forward. But other than that, he has these basic tiefling features. But again, no tail really distinguishable from his backside.
So, how far north are you going?
Well, it was 2 days to Dawngrass, and then, oh goodness, I think I was going to go past that. Yes.
How much farther past that?
A good 20-30 miles or so. I know that there's another town up there, and I was kind of wanting to leave Shroudport. Just really not my city. I thought it was. I'm from the Gated Glen, and I'm used to people being really nice and friendly, and people here are just kind of rude.
I know, right?
I don't. Bad taste in my mouth.
Be nice to each other.
I think it would make things a lot easier if we could all just be nice.
Right?
How much is he paying?
How much for our services, good sir?
I know that transporting somebody such as myself can put a marker on all of your heads.
Huh?
So I'm willing. Well, again, some people don't really take kind to horns and wide eyes, 6 fingers, all of that. So I'd be willing to give you each 50 gold. Once we get there, of course, I can pay you 15 a piece now, but I can pay you the rest of it, the rest 35 per each of you once we get there.
One moment, please. Turns, scoots everyone away. Yeah?
Yes.
It sounds like he's really going to need help more than anybody else on the road.
And you can see that he's holding up a map and just kind of looking at it and like pointing his finger.
He's even got a map.
And then he kind of like looks at it and he flips it upside down and then nods to himself and then points with one of his others with the 6 finger on his other hand and just
No,
Silk Creek.
I turn, I
That's
walk
the
over,
name.
and I turn the map 90 degrees.
This makes so much more sense oriented with the coast. Thank you. Thank you.
I think we'll take the job.
Oh, excellent. I was planning on leaving tomorrow bright and early. Based on the map, it should take 5 days. If you think that you can be around me and Whiskers for 5 days.
If I peek over his shoulder and see like where we are versus where we want to go, how far north does it go?
So from his map, from where you guys are, it would be about 150 miles looking on the map.
Not bad. Okay. I mean, you're not undesirable company, so I guess 5 days isn't too bad.
Do you mean it?
Yeah?
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Oh! You are breaking his heart.
What's your cat's deal?
Oh, I don't really know, to be honest. I know he's, well, you guys are coming along. It's not really a cat. If that makes any help.
What?
He's an
If
imp.
it's not a cat, what is it?
He was an imp. I bound him to cat form, though, so he can't change from being a cat. He's very upset about the fact that I have transformed him into a cat, but he still knows who his master is.
So is his name still Whiskers?
No, and he hates it when I call him that, but that's the name he's going to have while we're in town.
Gotcha.
Fair enough.
You just hear this. It's like you see 2 gleaming yellow eyes from the darkness just.
I tell him to fuck off in Infernal.
And you hear like that cat just. And like kind of like skitters off. And then Parnell actually responds to you in Infernal. Someone else who speaks. But to everybody else, it's like just this really dark, guttural language. But Parnell just has this very happy look on his face.
Oh no!
Yeah, something I picked up.
Well, I haven't been able to speak it in a very long time without getting side glances, and he like looks down this carriageway or this stables, and you can see that there is just the stable hand who has heard you guys speaking Infernal and is just giving a slow shake of his head, just
Them boys ain't right.
And just goes back to shuffling hay.
Cool.
Where are you all staying?
Zesty Anchor.
Guys must be the adventuring sorts. I've kind of just been staying here in the back of my cart with Whiskers. I just have my stuff, really. I'm not a goods trader. Like I said, I'm kind of just looking to leave town. So you guys don't have to worry about spoiled fruit or fish stank or anything like that. I have my own rations, and if you need anything repaired, if any of your clothes get ripped, I'm good with a set of thread.
Huh.
Very kind of you. Well, will you just be staying here tonight, or where would you like us to meet you? When are we leaving in the morning?
I was hoping that we could leave...
have a +1.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes.
Oh. Yeah, so if that changes...
No, it really doesn't change anything at all. I just hope that they aren't a big fellow. We don't really have a whole lot of room in the back, especially if we're already going to be...
She does have a very big personality, but I don't think you're going to have a problem.
Well, all right then. That sounds nice. It's been a while since I've had enjoyable company. So thank you.
The nicest thing anyone's ever told me.
Can I insight check this guy?
Yeah, you can insight check him.
I love him. 14.
Yeah, he seems to be telling the truth and like kind of looking back over his shoulder. And you stand pretty tall, so you get a good glimpse inside of his cart. And you can see that there is, it just looks like there's a large chest. There are some barrels that have drapes over them. Or not drapes, but there's just like linen sheets over them. And then you can see that there are other crates and boxes just sort of centered around. But they all have been pushed aside in the back for one very long sitting area or sleeping area. As you see that there's also like a little, there is a small blanket that's kind of been pushed aside, as well as a pillow. And the pillow is, it looks like it probably was white fabric at one point, but is kind of just yellowed over time.
Oh.
Well, if there's anything that you guys need to know about me, I mean, I'm sure you can ask over the next period of days. While we're traveling together and getting to know each other better.
Yes, we'll all have plenty of time to get to know each other. That's for your record keeping. That's the Four Keeps Adventuring Company.
Okay. And he pulls out this tiny little book and starts writing in it.
But what time tomorrow were you ready? Were you going to be ready to leave?
I am currently ready to leave now, but I understand it's late in the day. So if you guys want to meet up hour after daybreak, then we can set on our way.
That sounds perfect. Right. We need to make sure that we are outfitted for the journey and get a good night's rest before we head out. But we will be back. We will meet you.
Excellent. I look forward to it. And don't worry, you're not the only one who needs a good night rest. Old Bess here needs a good night rest too. And he slaps the mane of just this large speckled horse. That like it looks like it's just been resting for a while. But it's kind of just like idly eating away at some oats as well. And he just runs all 6 of his fingers through the back mane.
Coriander kind of like looks wistfully at the horse. Anyway, yes, we will meet you.
All right. First thing tomorrow.
First thing.
All right. Well, it was a pleasure meeting all of you, and he makes a point to go around and shake each of your hands.
Yep.
And then he kind of goes back. Goes back and starts brushing his horse and kind of just like keeping a general eye out, because as soon as you start, like, you guys see Whiskers kind of like trot out into the main alley, and then in Infernal, Blake, you hear, "Hey Buster, get back here!" As Whiskers just and like turns back around and starts walking back into the little cart area. And so, Gwen, you have woken up. You were asleep for about an hour, a little bit over an hour. You were very exhausted still. Like, it was a power nap, but it was one of those things where, like, now you just have that nap feeling in your mouth, and it's just not like it's the worst. And like now you're just feeling like groggily awake, but also still could easily fall back asleep. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna peek around the corner and see if the other adventuring party something weird. What was it?
Off constantly.
If they are still there.
They are not. And it looks like the bar is pretty lively at this point. You can see that there is that red dragonborn is back to just kind of like drinking with his friends and being loud. And Mirth is very busily is passing out drinks to people and kind of getting ready for the evening rush. As you had gotten in around 4 or 5. And then taking your hour nap, so you were waking up to a very, very bustling, zesty Anchor.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to the bar, and I'm going to hop up and grab a drink.
Okay. And Fang is actually at the counter this time as well, and he looks at you and just...
It feels like it's been weeks since I really got the chance to, sit down. How's it going? Do you need anything? Drinks? Beer? We got hard alcohol. What do you need?
Could I get a coffee and liquor? Just mix them up. And then, just like a plate of meats. I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, you look like hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But, Swift was telling me that you guys have been making for some pretty noisy nights. If I do say so myself.
Yeah, I mean, you know me.
Yeah,
but,
I do.
Also, I just nothing.
What?
Nothing. I just was thinking about how I didn't sleep very much last night, so I just didn't, How much does a window in this place cost? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, yeah, no, we got somebody to fix it. It's fine.
I would love to pay for that.
Tell you what, 5 silver. 5 silver, we call it good.
You're way too good to us, and I pass over a gold.
Look, I remember what it was like being in hard times. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, before I did all of this. No, I remember what it was like. Breaking windows and tables and chairs, and you either gotta run or cough up the coins.
Right.
Yeah, running gets easy, but it gets tiring.
Yeah, and I'm already tired. Do you know where my friends are? I mean, my group.
I saw them walk out probably 45 minutes ago.
Oh.
Here,
Did they say where they were going?
I didn't ask.
Great.
It's kind of busy. But
yeah.
Let me get your food order in. Hey, hold on.
And you see that just this, kind of sleepy-looking snapping turtle pokes his head out of the back, and just...
So we got plate of meat, coffee booze combo. What else did you want? You wanted something else, right?
No, that was it.
All right, just the 2.
And Huddle just nods and then kind of slinks back into the kitchen. And after about, and then in about 15 minutes, you'll be getting your food.
Okay. I saw the red dragonborn who Blake had mentioned that he left with, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna like try to make eye contact with him. Not like I wanna fight you eye contact, but like what's up? Like establishing that we're cool and I can come speak to you.
Yeah.
Like dudes.
Yeah, so he catches notice of you trying to like catch his attention a little bit, and not horribly trying to, just like over here, look how amazing I am. Like you're making it very very approachable, and he kind of like motions to a seat that's pretty close to him, and you can see somebody was actually just getting up to leave, and they seem to have like are holding onto their stomach, just like, walking off, and Ven just grabs their drink and just downs it, throws the can, like throws the mug over, and Mirth just kind of like looks at it skitter cross, looks at Ven. What's going on your tab? And she just walks over, picks it up.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
it's been a while.
know
I have not had as much to drink tonight as I did the first night you were here. So if you want a repeat drinking match, I am on board.
Oh, bruh, I want you at your A game, sir. I don't want you a few drinks in, but I appreciate your vigor. I just had a question for you.
Yeah. Sure.
I heard my my Dragonborn companion left with you the other night or last night.
No, I didn't.
What do you mean?
No, I mean I was here at the bar until close to when Swift comes in. He and I don't really see eye to eye all that much, so I'm not really my thing. But no, he didn't leave with me. There was some weird little guy showed up. Said that something about a mistress, and then he left. He was pretty drunk.
Yeah. Like, can you like describe this little guy better?
It was like if a dog learned how to walk on two legs. He's a little chunky boy. Small hands, underbite.
Like he could speak though?
Yeah, no, he spoke. He told Blake something about somebody needing to talk to him.
Yeah, and a mistress, you said?
Yeah.
The little guy's mistress, probably.
Yeah.
Right. Weird. Okay. Thanks for the info, sir.
No problem. You want to stick around for a drink?
Yeah. I was just another question real quick. Are you like, I don't want to be racist here because I haven't met many Dragonborn, but are you a male or a female?
I'm a dude.
And is Blake a male or a female?
Pretty sure Blake's a dude.
Okay, because we did bathe in the same room and there was nothing going on. So I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't like I just misrepresented him in my head the whole time.
That just means he probably wasn't interested in any of you guys.
That's okay, because I don't know if I saw enough is what I'm saying. But thank you for the the lesson. Again, no offense.
If you want to see what one looks like later.
I know. You know what? Honestly, I'm as far as like junk goes, I'm set for a little bit, but I appreciate your Gwen looks a little uncomfortable by like, because her mental picture of what it's gonna be is just like she's not ready for that.
he kind of like brings his claws, like, come here.
I have two.
Oh my god. All right, have a good night, sir. She just goes. Oh my god.
He's just big toothy grin on his smile, and he just keeps drinking.
She's just trying Connor. To do the math in her head.
Indoor, what the fuck?
Yeah, so you just straight up walk away.
All right, goodbye forever, sir. Just go sit at the bar, like, staring at my drink.
And then it's about that time you see Mirth actually like walk past you heading towards Ven, and she has a plate of food and a what looks to be a hot drink, and she like looks around and then looks back at you at the table. Just,
Sorry.
Sets it. Just stop changing where you're sitting all the time. It makes it fucking hell for everybody who's trying to work here. Okay. She just sets you your drink, and then she just walks off and goes back to helping customers. And you can hear just Ven's uproarious laughter with everybody else at the table.
I need to know. I need to know. Gwen's gonna be stuck in that mindset for a while. She's gonna be painting the mental picture for a while.
No, it just doesn't add up.
Where
That's
does
not
it
how
go?
That works. So yeah, it's about an hour goes by, and you still haven't seen head or tail of your friends, and the bar's kind of starting to wind down a little bit. And Mirth kind of like comes over to you, and she like, as she's coming over, she seems like she's getting ready to tell you how much your tab is, and Fang just looks at her and just, "You're fine. Don't." Her just, "You know we're going to lose money if we offer free food to every adventurer who comes in this bar." Just,
Yeah, I mean, like, come on, they saved the bar. They only got a few days left. Come on, it's gonna be fine. It'll be fine.
"What's going on your tab?" And she like points at Fang and then walks off, and he just,
I'm gonna flip her a gold as she walks away. Like, I was just, hey, and I flip her a gold as a tip.
and she'll she'll catch it. She looks at it, and you see like there's like a small little flame that kind of coats over the gold, and then she looks at it, just stuffs it into her blouse.
All right, well, they have to come back here, right?
I mean, I really hope so. You guys still have rooms upstairs, and I don't think everybody's cleared theirs out. And I don't want to sell your stuff, but I also don't want to hang on to it. So it puts me in this really difficult situation if people just, like, don't clear their shit out.
Yeah. They didn't, like, leave with their stuff, right?
No.
Oh, good, okay.
No, they look like they were coming back.
Alright, good. Alright. Cool. Just surprised they didn't say anything.
Yeah, and about another hour goes by, and still nobody has come back, and the bar's kind of winding down now, and you can see that Ven is just getting more and more drunk with his other friends as well, and you can see that there was a half-elf that was drinking with him for a while, and then she stood up and was just, no, and like also walked off. Mm-hmm. And it has been about 2.5 hours now.
Since I woke up?
Since you woke up, and nobody has come back yet. Because it takes several hours to get to the top of town where you guys live.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So she's gonna, after a while, she's gonna get a beer to go. And she's gonna go upstairs and, go with the gut. She's gonna go into someone's room, and the first room that she sees, she's just gonna start looking through people's stuff because she's bored.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. So whose room are you going into? Because it was you and Caelum were right across the way from each other, and then Cori and Blake were right across the way from each other in the back.
I gotta go into Blake's room. I have to know, okay?
So you open the door to Blake's room, and you see that there is what looks to be a circle of some sort of magical heritage, or at least intent, just like scrawled out onto the floor, but it looks like there was just this like something was either dragged out of it or pulled through it, but a lot of that chalk has just kind of been smeared off to the side. And you can see that he has his utility backpack just kind of set up off to the side of the bed, and it's completely like closed up. All the buttons and flaps are done, like he's ready to go at any moment. And then you also spot that there is a letter on his different one from your 2 letters, because yours, the ones that you have been writing, Blake, I'm assuming are in your pack after you're done with them. But there is just a nicely folded letter with what looks to be sealing wax just set up on his bed, on his pillow.
Like it's to him?
You might think that it's to him. I mean, it's kind of weird leaving yourself sealed letters.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna go up to the letter and just kind of like hold it up to the light and kind of what does the seal look like?
So the seal itself looks like a capital M, where the last swoop down of the M actually circles down into an O. And the wax that it is used is a very rich, deep green.
Weird. Is it like thick parchment? Is it rolled? Can I see through the side?
It's not rolled. It seems to have just been like folded up into a square, and you can see that there is one piece of parchment that's kind of like surrounding what might be on the inside, like an envelope.
And it is sealed?
It is sealed.
I'm not clever enough to be able to unseal that without anyone knowing, so I'm just going to go through his backpack.
Okay.
This is what happens when you guys leave me behind.
Yeah, so looking through his backpack, you find that there are immediately, like towards the top, there is a large stuffed plushie of a werewolf, I believe. Then you look past that one and there's another one of an owl bear. And then did you have a third plushie as well?
I did not.
Okay, yes.
I only had the 2.
So you see, like, there's this werewolf plushie and this owl bear plushie that have kind of been tucked up towards the top of his bag. And then underneath you see that there is what looks to be a small writing kit that's kind of closed up over itself. And then under that, you can see that there is what looks to be casual clothes that you've never seen Blake wear. And you're pretty sure that if you pulled them out, they would just have those perfect fold lines. Yeah, it would just look like you got them from the department store, shoved them in a box, and then never worried about it again.
Yep.
But he doesn't really have a whole lot on him. You see that there is a small side pouch that has any extra crossbow bolts that he's had, and they're starting to dwindle a little bit. And you see that there's also the one of the that weird ritualistic dagger that you guys had found is kind of just like tucked into a side pocket as well. But you don't really find a whole lot on Blake's stuff.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and for the next probably 30 minutes, play with the stuffed animals and sit on cross-legged on the bed and like, I'm a werewolf, I'm an owl bear, I'm gonna kill you, and then they're gonna like fight.
Okay, sounds good.
That's it. That's what
does she find the letters?
They were in the writing kit.
Okay.
Yeah, they were.
Oh.
Yeah, there's more of Blake's stuff.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go through everything if I have time.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, you end up.
Okay.
So you look through these like this writing kit, and you actually find that there are 2 letters, and these aren't sealed up or closed at all. They just sort of seem to be folded up and tucked away, off to the side. But if you are feeling nosy, you can definitely like peel it open, and you see that it's actually written in Blake's handwriting, as you would assume them to be. But they are they're very verbose. These are not short letters, and so we will have you read those on your spare time, and then you can confront Blake about it next week. But the other 3 of you guys are making your way back down from talking with Parnell. Is there anything else that you would like to do as you make your way back to the Zesty Anchor?
Get rations.
Yeah,
Get rations, get the cloaks.
Okay.
I'll foot the bill. I worked it out. 5 days of rations for 4 people is gonna be 20 silver pieces, so I'll mark that down.
Okay.
Is there anything else that we wanted to grab on our way back?
RJ, you said cloaks.
Yeah, like winter cloaks.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be able, and you could, even if you wanted to, you could return to the Nimble Thimble with Marguerite, and she's willing to sell you guys some very thick winter cloaks. And Caelum, this would be your first time just seeing this tiny little woman, but she's able to carry all of your guys' cloaks for you and sets them up. And
Impressive.
How much for the cloaks?
15 gold pieces total.
For the lot?
For the lot.
All right. I've got it.
Where are you keeping all this gold? Do you have like a gold form that we don't know about?
Well, my parents gave me a small allowance on my way out.
How small, if you don't mind me asking?
I think when I left, I had around 50.
Okay.
50-ish.
Huh.
I could check, but honestly, I don't really keep track of my money very well.
That's important, Coriander.
All right. Yeah.
I still got plenty, and she kind of like shakes her bag, and like it's very clearly got like less coin in it than it normally does.
does not jingle as heartedly.
Nope.
It's a great thing we're getting paid.
So yeah, we got this stuff. We're gonna head back, I guess.
Yep. So you guys are on your way back, and LB, I'm sending you one of Blake's letters. Send them both, because I got them
Your diary.
saved. And there we go. So that is what you are busy reading as the group is coming back on their way down. And you guys are just having a very enjoyable stroll through the city of Shroudport, and they're kind of cleaning up from the festival that was happening last night. And it is a quiet evening, and you can see that there are actually some pretty heavy clouds that are coming in tonight as well. And as you guys finally make your way down to the bottom, all the way down to Fang's bar in the squeeze, that's when you hear a very, very loud rumble of thunder that sort of just seems to shake most of the buildings and structures around you, like the lightning wasn't very far off. And that is where we are going to call it for tonight's session. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and stick with us through this awesome adventure. I am very excited to find out where we are going, because regardless, we are going north, I think. If not, players, please let me know that we are not going north.
We're actually going south.
Into the ocean.
We're going off the map.
Great.
We're going off the grid.
Great. I'll just invent a new
Straight
nation.
there.
It's fine. And so let's go around with our standard slew of sign-offs. So first off, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh, hey, I'm RJustice, or RJ282, found here on Twitch and Twitter at RJustice282, where I tweet about nerdy things in my day-to-day. And also, you can find us at PAX Unplugged coming in November.
Yeah!
Oh, I also play on the Tuesday game.
PAX Unplugged! Not all of us are going to be there, but if you do notice any familiar faces, you should definitely stop by and say hello. And I am going to see about bringing my laptop and some of my equipment with me, so that way we can still have our regularly scheduled Monday game post-PAX, where I will probably be very tired. So that's the perfect time to mess with me. It's great. But do you have any other announcements that you would like to get off the ground?
I was streaming Monster Hunter yesterday, so let's hope that's going to be a thing from now on.
I'm glad you're finally getting into it. And speaking of people who have just started streaming, LBHackEmUp, what do you do? Where can we find you?
Who be you? Hi, I'm LB. I do have a Twitch, and I streamed last week on Wednesday, which I should never do. I'm not sure if I'm going to. I'm not sure if I'm going to get to it this week, but you can definitely stop by and watch me play Fallout. Where if you saw the clip, I play very well. So
you're a sharpshooter.
I am a sharpshooter, so don't worry.
Excellent gameplay.
And then tomorrow night I will be playing the ghost character, which is, you know, double meaning, but also we might be going to see some ghosts. So stop by.
It's true. Yeah. They are on their way to the city of the dead within Neverwinter, and it is going to be a good time. Next up, Connor, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hello. You can find me at CyberWolf1201 on the Twitterverse, where I shitpost and talk about Critical Role and D&D and other stuff that is going on. And what I'm doing elsewhere on the interwebs, like on Twitch, also at CyberWolf1201 on Twitch, where I play video games badly and talk about lore. This month on Saturdays, I am streaming Majora's Mask, and am having a lot of fun doing it. Yeah. I'm
excited.
You can find me here, obviously, on Mondays. You can find me on Saturdays on Pro Restarter's channel, where this Saturday, at noon Central, we are going to be finishing off Dragon Knights.
It's been good.
It's been so long. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. And Kyle with an N and I talk about it. You can find that on my YouTube, which you can find from my Twitch, or look up CyberWolf1201 on YouTube. You might find it, you might not. And on a channel that I'm not on a lot, but that I do some stuff with behind the scenes, and they're doing some stuff pretty soon. Open for Adventure, spelled out Open for Adventure on Twitch, or at Open4 Adventure on Twitter. Follow them. They're awesome.
Yeah. It's good times. And last but not least, Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, you can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do D&D art and commissions. I also do a doodle stream adjacent to this one, and I try to put a link down in the chat so that you guys can see it. And that's me.
All right, awesome. And as you guys probably know, I'm the Indoor Adventurer, which after some rebranding this weekend, that is how you can find me, is twitch.tv/TheIndoorAdventurer, youtube.com/TheIndoorAdventurer, facebook.com/TheIndoorAdventurer. I have a Facebook page set up, but not a whole lot of people stop by. So if you are looking for a good way to get into contact with me where it's not going to be drowned out by all of the other wonderful people, Facebook is the way to go. But that is going to be it for us tonight. Come back tomorrow night for Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which I didn't screw up saying, unlike last week. So, yeah, tune in tomorrow. It is sure to be a good time. And until next week, we will see you guys later. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.